This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Jordan Gower, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, and Laura Lewis. In this episode, we are talking about chapters 25 and 26 of The Gathering Storm.
Yeah, chapter 25 is In Darkness, and chapter 26 is A Crack in the Stone.
Yeah.
I want to know what you feel about these chapters, specifically the whole reveal that happens. And
With
I don't
Avienda?
know. Well, that
Or
one,
the
you actually get points for that.
Black
but
Aja one.
The Black Aja one.
Yeah. I am not surprised by anything anymore.
Okay.
I wish I was, you know?
Yeah.
I wish at this point in the series I was like,
Shocked.
shocked. But I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if there were signs I missed.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, we'll point out a few.
Yeah.
We're just like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Because wasn't there already like
There was a bunch of signs.
Pretty big arrow pointing to her, maybe?
There was like 3 or 4 or 7, 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
So, like, I wasn't like, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
I was like, ah, shit. God, this is, like, it's almost annoying.
Yeah.
At this point where it's like, oh God, someone who's like, we're supposed to trust is not trustworthy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
shoot.
Yeah, shoot.
Hate when that happens.
What I do love about the Avienda reveal is I'm right.
You got points.
I'm so right.
Yeah.
I'm never that right about things.
Yeah, you were pretty spot on when
that
you said it.
was exactly right.
To be fair,
Yeah.
you said a whole bunch of things.
No, but that's what I really said.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good thing none of this is recorded. And
Yeah,
anyway, no one can
I'll
point
find it and play it back.
Right.
I said that lots of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? You
No,
think
no,
I
yeah,
did it?
No, it's good.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. Episode 1205 from Chapter 3 of The Gathering Storm. I think that...
What's the problem?
I think that she needs to be punished because she's accepting the punishment, maybe. Like, maybe if she stopped accepting the punishments, then she wouldn't have any...
This sounds literally like the whole wise one thing. Or no, not the Aes Sedai thing we talked about last chapter.
About what?
Like the Chimaran thing where she's like, oh, she was demoted because she accepted being demoted.
Yes, yeah. It's like
feels
maybe
like
she's like less...
Feels like you're taking that.
She's not honorable because she just keeps on accepting punishments.
Okay.
And so maybe they're like, you clearly still think you need to be punished, so we're just going to keep
dishing it out.
And if she's just like, no, my toe has been met, there's nothing to be punished for, then they'd be like, yes, okay, maybe.
Okay. I mean, it's a theory.
No, okay,
it's a theory.
So there is actually something I should know? It's
well,
not that?
Not necessarily. I'm just saying, like, this is one of those where it's like, okay, I get your rationale.
Because that's what I was feeling like this whole time. If Avienda has no idea why she's being punished, and they're like, it's time for your punishment, she's like, okay. And
it's like, she's just letting us do this.
Yeah,
like, what is she doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, well, she must have something that she feels really guilty about.
Right.
That she really needs to...
Ooh, like, I'm just going to punish because I'm going to act like I know the thing you know.
Well, they're like, okay, you need to be punished. And she's like, yes, I do.
Okay.
And they're like, gotcha. Yeah.
So all Avienda needs to do is be like,
no.
Nope. And they'll be like,
no punishment.
Cool.
And they're going to be like, now
Done.
you're a wise one.
The final test.
That's the final. This is the final trial.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
The final thing that she has to do is say, no, you can't punish me.
Ooh,
I'm a wise one.
I like
and
that.
Then
you know what?
they'll be like, yes, you are.
I like it.
Yeah. See, I knew I said it. Almost exactly right. That's the first thing I said.
Yeah, I mean, you got it.
I get some points.
You do get points.
I so rarely get points. I love it.
Okay, so for this fun fact, this was one of those ones where I was trying to find one thing and then ended up not finding it, so I switched to something else. Initially, I was looking for some sort of fun fact about Egwene impersonating the Amerlin and then thinking she's going to get sentenced to death over it. So I was trying to find something we could compare it to, and I looked at things like, oh, what are some things you can get excommunicated from the Catholic Church over? But there's literally like hundreds of things, and I didn't get through enough to figure out if that's one of them, is like impersonating the Pope. But anyways, in the future, if I can find something, I'll tell you.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So instead, we're going to get a nice little tidbit about Shamarin, because we're also dealing with her in these chapters.
Okay.
So Shamarin.
Well, okay. Also, back-to-back chapters with Sheriam and Shamarin.
Right.
So you tell me if I'm supposed to actually know the difference between those two names.
I mean, you should.
They look exactly the same. They sound exactly the same. I'm like, wait a minute, who are we talking about? And it's not until we get more information about what's going on for each of these people, and you're like, oh, okay, I know who that is. But I'm like, oh man, no, not the Dark Friend. And then it's like, oh no, it's just the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
So here's the fun fact.
Not Sheriam.
No, not Sheriam.
Shamarin.
Shamarin.
Okay.
So Shamarin is the yellow Aja Aes Sedai. Now that I say that.
She's not an Aes Sedai.
Well, yeah, she's not an Aes Sedai, but like she is. But
she is an Aes Sedai, but if she doesn't think that she is, then she is not.
Okay, so anyways, so there's a name, Shamarin, but it's spelled Shahmaran, so different than the Aes Sedai. That comes from the Persian words Shah and Marin, which means snakes, and it's a literal translation meaning the king of snakes. So the Shamarin is a mythical creature that's half snake and half woman, and it's portrayed as a two-headed creature with a crown on each head. So there's a human female head on one end and a snake's head on the other. And it's kind of funny because there's like this whole story about the Shamarin, but in one of these stories, and it's not really related to Shamarin,
at all.
The now
it
accepted.
Sounds like, okay.
Not really, but you get like a tidbit of like yellow Aes Sedai-ish stuff. So I thought, hey, we're doing this anyways.
Because I was gonna say maybe like Sheriam is like a two-headed snake.
Yeah, and I totally get that.
Ooh,
that also would have worked. Not this, though.
Mm.
But anyways, in the story with the Shamarin, in one of them, there's a young man. They get stuck in a cave while he's out with some friends, and then he's left alone, so he goes to explore the cave and finds a passage to the chamber with the Shamarin, this like two-headed creature. And then he finds the Shamarin, and then they live together in harmony, and they fall in love in the cave, and they live there. And then the Shamarin teaches him about medicines and healing and medicinal herbs. Because, yellow Aes Sedai, it fits.
Okay.
Anyways, but that's about the end.
Wow,
That's
you
the end of
really
it.
shoved that into that box.
I did. And then, long story short, something, the king of the town nearby has to eat the flesh of the Shamarin, so the monster gets killed, and then the guy becomes a doctor. I don't know if those are related, to each other, but that's the story. So, hopefully...
And King of Snakes, there's just other snakes too, or no?
I don't really know if that was part of the story.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah. Anyways,
good
Googling. Hopefully
good
this
Googling,
doesn't.
Brett. You did great.
Shamarin's story in Wheel of Time hopefully goes better than it does for the Shamarin.
Right. Well, we got 2 chapters to get through.
Let's do that.
So
okay.
It honestly doesn't even matter.
I tried my best.
Okay, I know.
Sometimes my best isn't good enough. But,
I actually thought that was kind of interesting. Not related to anything, but interesting.
Except the healing thing.
Not really.
Totally the same.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. In Darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Darkness. Chapter symbol, 2 faces, the black and white, which we've come to narrow down to being specifically Black Aja.
Yes.
That's really what it is.
Exactly.
Now, Sheriam is just outside her tent, and she peeks inside before going in to make sure that nobody's in there waiting for her.
Yeah.
Like there has been before.
Ooh.
And that sort of clicked in my memory. I was like, oh yeah, is this the one that weird thing happened to?
Yeah.
Where she clearly got like either blackmailed or is Black Aja.
Well, it's really funny because that is the event.
Because she was spying on Egwene and she was getting like tortured or beaten up or something.
Yeah, and I'll remind you because I was like, oh, that happened pretty recently. Not recently. Book 8. In my brain, it's like, oh, that's pretty recent. But anyways.
Well, I remembered that it happened. It triggered the memory that I was like, oh, that's something that happened.
Yeah. So the last time when we saw that scene, Sheriam ducks into her tent and then she immediately gets like shielded and flung down on the bed and then gets like sheets wadded into her mouth.
Yeah.
And then the mysterious person who's Halima, and we kind of figured that out now too, but says, you were supposed to keep me informed, Sheriam. The girl's up to something. I want to know what. And then it takes Sheriam a long time to convince her questioner before she's like, let go. And then she thinks, oh, I wish I'd never spoken to a single sister in the hall in my life or whatever.
Yes,
so
yeah.
It's just like that tidbit.
And it was a little cryptic, and it's like either she's just gotten herself into a bad situation.
Exactly, like being blackmailed and, it's super bad. But,
or she's Black Aja, and now here it is.
I mean, there's also that whole deal with the Gray Man situation in the tower originally. Remember back when...
Right, because she was the mistress of novices.
And then there was a Gray Man...
The whole mistress of novices was Black Aja the whole time.
The whole time, yeah. And there was a Gray Man that's like, oh, Gray Man showed up in her bed. Like a dead one was put in Sheriam's bed. And everyone's like, whoa.
Oh, right.
Like she's literally Black Aja.
Yeah.
She's been Black Aja the whole time. So.
Yeah. Well, it checks. It's fine. It checks out.
It makes sense. Like
I'm
now
not
that
oh my God, what? Yeah,
I know. It's good.
Yeah.
You're like, she's been downhill for a long time. And now, knowing
she's been crying.
She's been doing terribly.
She's been doing horribly. She's been doing really, really bad.
And everybody's like, oh, she's doing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And probably the Black Aja, they're like, everyone's like, Sheriam's doing badly.
Right.
In her real role and her, Black Aja role, she's doing bad.
Right. But when she looks inside, there's nobody there, so she can go inside. And overall, she's pretty happy about how things are going, even though everyone else thinks things are going terribly for her.
Yeah.
Now, turns out that idiot Romonda ended up chasing Halima out of the camp, so now she isn't getting punished anymore. So
fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah. And that's the little tidbit here where she also thinks like, oh, the person who was doing the punishments before, I always felt like I should be able to sense her channeling, but couldn't. Because it's Halima, right?
It turns out it's because...
she channels Saidin, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, this is where Sheriam thinks about how her allegiances had brought her power, like promised, but nobody had warned her about the pain and punishment, so she's really annoyed about that. Know.
This is actually a hilarious story, too. Like, her whole, mentality towards joining the Black Aja, it's just the best. Because she doesn't feel guilty about anything she's done. And she's like, every sister in the tower does whatever she has to get ahead. That's what life's about.
Right? Uh-huh.
Yeah. But why did the end of days have to come now?
Yeah, I didn't want any glory and stuff. She just wanted to get ahead in the tower politics. Like, she just wanted a promotion.
Yeah. Yeah. And, she's definitely murdered people and done evil things. Because, Black Aja people do bad things.
Yeah.
You have to assume she's either killed or tortured or,
right, but she didn't want to be in a final showdown with the Dragon Reborn.
Right? Yuck.
Or anything to do with any of the Chosen.
No thanks.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Just wanted job promotions. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And get back at people who have done me wrong.
Oh, well, everybody wants that.
Yeah, well, with this group, you could for a while, and now it's like, geez.
Right? All right, but then suddenly Sheriam feels someone with a ton of strength in the power outside of her tent, and she sees a jet black figure standing out there, so she throws herself to the ground, but it's not Halima.
Yeah.
Because Sheriam was never able to sense her. That's sort of when we get this thing.
Yep. Plus, Halima wasn't so dramatic with, the showing up and the jet black look, and we know who does that.
Masana.
Masana, yeah, we saw that with Alviarin.
Right.
Yeah.
I had to think about that for a second. Yeah.
It's definitely got to be her. Especially because after we see her go back into the tower. So, it's got to be her.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Sheriam figures that this must be one of the Chosen, for sure. So, or at least it's someone way above her in the hierarchy. Mm-hmm. So she's just going to, prostrate herself and, do all the stuff she's got to do as a Black Aja.
When she yammers on.
Yeah.
She's like, I just am the worst and you're the best.
Yeah, I live to serve, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then the figure's like, shut up about it.
Yeah. And then the figure asks if she's well set up in the camp. And Sheriam says, well, I'm the keeper of the chronicles.
It's technically you have the position, but you aren't...
in any position to actually have any power. You're not even allowed in the hall meetings.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
You literally can't do anything.
Well, and also, especially because if you think about it as Masana, she's like, you're actually just part of this, piddly group of rebels, and Aes Sedai are terrible already, but you're, the rebels of those piddly group of nothing, so.
Yeah, but anyway, Sheriam's orders here are to get Egwene Alvir deposed.
Right.
By the group of rebels.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. And then that's confusing to Sheriam because it's like, hey, it was Chosen orders that helped get her in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they clearly wanted a puppet who could be influenced.
Yeah.
Probably by the Black Aja at some point, if not immediately.
But even Masana here is like, actually, she's really good at what she's doing.
Yeah,
and
so
we
that
don't like that.
That's a bad idea. That was a bad choice.
This was a bad choice,
Yeah.
and now she has to be removed. We have to fix this.
Right. Yeah. Nobody saw Swan coming in and like digging her fingers into Egwene so bad too.
Yeah, also that.
So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
And at some point here, Sheriam does reveal that they're meeting with Egwene in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah, well, Masana's like, how are you guys getting into Tel'aran'rhiod and stuff? How's that happening?
Your meetings?
Yeah.
How do you get there?
You shouldn't be there, but like, how do you do it?
Yeah. And Sheriam's like, well, we got a bunch of Terangriel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the figure says, oh.
That's good. Yeah.
How many?
How many of them do you have? Now, I like this because at first Sheriam's like, do I lie?
Mm-hmm.
Do I lie to one of the Chosen? Or do I hedge or fake something?
Right.
Because I could hold that information over this person. It's like, no, Sheriam.
Well, no, instead of holding the information, you just won't have to be responsible for so many.
Well, yeah, and
right.
She doesn't know what the orders are going to be at this point either.
She also doesn't know what this figure actually knows.
Which is,
this could be a test, right?
Yeah.
They might actually know exactly how many there are.
Yeah.
And it's a test.
I mean, even opening with the whole question of like, oh, how are you even getting there? She's not really playing the whole I'm an omniscient, forsaken type role. That some of them sometimes do.
Right.
But
yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah. And she calls the Terangriel sleepweavers, which is kind of fun. Oh, I like that we get a...
Sleepweavers.
Sleepweaver, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that we get a name for it.
Anyway, Sheriam does decide to tell the truth. She says 20, but Lyanna had one when she got captured, so we have 19. And then the figure says, great, steal them and give them to me, but I'm a very busy lady.
Right.
And I need them soon.
Yes. And?
It's gonna cost you.
Well, for each one you don't get, it's gonna cost you.
That's right.
So there's 19.
All the tea.
Each one you don't get is gonna cost you a finger or a toe.
Ah, no.
So we have...
See you later.
Yeah, see ya. Opens a gateway, goes...
We have 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days.
19.
To steal. Including the rings and the plaques.
Yeah, like whichever. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get them all, then it's like you lose a finger or a toe. That's good. And then the figure leaves and goes to Tarvalon.
Yeah.
Which is where it like opens up. So we have to make a prediction here.
Okay.
Is she going to lose fingers and or toes? And if so, how many?
I don't know.
What are we losing here? And is she getting any of the Terangriel? Is she going to get caught? Maybe?
Maybe.
So... It's kind of like the whole Jacob Carradine threat where it's like, hey, for every month that you don't kill Rand, we're going to murder one person of your family.
And I assume that they did do that.
Oh, yeah. I also would assume that.
This is a little different, though, I think.
It's similar, but different.
Because I feel like in 3 days from now...
Sure.
Who knows what might be going on in the tower? You know what I mean?
Okay,
I'm
that's
thinking
fair.
that if something were to happen, like let's say, okay, we're gatewaying into the tower and having an entire battle, or the Shanshan attack, which could happen at any point if they have traveling, right?
Sure, yeah, I guess that's true.
Like literally at any point, something could happen in the next 3 days where Masana is preoccupied, and doesn't show back up, to collect on this.
It's also Wheel of Time, and we could get a cutscene 3 days from now to whatever. So we have no idea.
We could get anything at this point. But...
Okay, so make a prediction. Is this going to go... Is Sheriam losing fingers and or toes?
No, I think that this feels like a thing that won't matter. Like...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Won't matter as much.
Is she going to try to...
I think this is really going to stress Sheriam out, and I think she's going to get caught.
Okay, like trying to steal them?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a little while from now, we'll be like, oh yeah, that was a thing, right?
Right. Yeah. I like that. I like all the ways you just explained that.
It's all of it.
Those are all the possibilities.
Nothing or everything.
It's an exhaustive list of everything that might happen.
Exactly. That's the problem with predicting things at this point.
Right. You just predict everything, and then eventually you get points.
Yeah, and then I take my soundbite from the one thing I said that was right, and I'm like, see, I said it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe she'll lose a toe. I don't know.
Okay. All right,
but I mean, I guess she could lose all but one. Okay, let's say she doesn't get any.
Okay.
Right? So there's 19 toes and fingers
loses all but one.
to lose. Which one is she keeping?
Oh, man, a thumb for sure.
Well, no.
If you get to choose. If she gets to choose,
she's just keeping one
If you got to keep only one finger or toe, I would keep a thumb.
One thumb?
One thumb on my right hand.
I think maybe my pointer finger.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I can do more with that than my thumb.
Oh, well, no. Okay. Well, you know what? Do whatever you want to do.
If you have a thumb, you can sort of grab things still. Yeah.
Yep. That is the entire point of a lot of things.
Of thumbs? Of thumbs? That's the point of
like
thumbs?
the evolution of people. It's like
Okay.
that's the thumb is the really important one.
Yeah, I
That's
think
the
my
guy.
main problem with this is
Yeah.
I just don't care as much as I should.
Well, you should care about it if you get to keep one.
Oh,
finger.
me? Yeah, I would care if it was me. Shiriam, on the other hand,
You don't care. Yeah,
I
that's
just,
fair. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I wish I cared more.
All right.
I'm trying hard.
Yeah, are you though?
I'm
Okay.
still here, Brett. I'm still here.
All right.
All right.
Shall we? Yeah.
Yeah,
move
we're
on?
going to perspective change.
Good luck, Sherry M. See you never.
Yeah, see ya, whatever, I guess, when we see ya.
See
See ya
ya
when we
whenever.
see ya.
And she's going to be back to stressy.
Yeah. Maybe. We actually do see her in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
And I have a prediction.
Oh,
I have a thing, but
Okay.
I'm saving it for later.
sure.
Okay, so we're perspective changing to Egwene, and she's in her cell. Well, actually, I think she's like just outside of it or something.
Yeah.
Where the door's open to her cell, and she has a stool that she's sitting on because she has Siane,
Yeah.
who's visiting her.
Yeah. She's like the OG Black Aja hunter that
Yes.
Elida had the meeting with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was at the dinner
Mhm.
that went horribly.
Well, depends whose perspective.
It went bad for literally everyone.
For everyone.
It went bad for everybody.
It went okay for Egwene. Like, you know.
It doesn't really sound like anybody's actually acting on this like I thought they would.
Oh, yeah. You did think that this was like.
I thought this was going to be the thing where they can finally just get rid of the person they all hate.
Right, and that gets shut down pretty hard here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So Siane is explaining that Elida is going to be tried for the whole beating the crap out of Egwene situation.
Yeah.
And Egwene has been imprisoned for the last 2 days since that happened.
Yeah.
She is allowed visitors because that's part of Tower Law.
Yeah,
so
and this
she has
this
had
part of
some
Tower
people-
Law we care about.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this the part of Tower Law that we're
I'll
paying
tell
attention
you.
to?
Have you heard of hypocrisy?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of that?
That was the Greek philosopher.
Nope, that's just a real life thing. that
Okay,
exists.
that's good.
Because some things matter in certain contexts,
Yeah.
but other things completely don't matter in other contexts.
Right.
Yeah.
So she does have people visiting, including sitters, and Siane is one of the white Aja sitters, technically. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's good that she still has visitors. It's not like they've completely shunned her.
Yeah.
Like, that is a positive thing.
Yeah. And Siane is saying that it's clear Elida broke the law,
Yeah.
and it was witnessed by 5 sitters of different Ajas, so everyone can corroborate this story. This
Like,
isn't
everyone knows it did happen.
Right. And Elida has tried to forestall the trial, but she hasn't been successful in that.
Yeah, like, she doesn't want a trial at all.
No.
But also, the trial doesn't seem like a bad thing, because we get an explanation for what the maximum punishment's gonna be. Also, Elida's putting up a counter argument to this whole situation and like rewriting the story of what she did.
Yeah, so
It's so
Siane
bad.
also tells her this bad news. Some sisters are at least listening to Elida's arguments that Egwene is actually a dark friend,
Yeah.
and she expelled her from the tower and then beat her.
Right. Yes.
And Siane is pretty confident that argument won't stand because
Yeah.
this isn't some backwards little village where you can put a dragon's fang on someone's door and it's enough to get a conviction.
I love
and then
that.
Egwene gets all offended.
She's like, I'm from a backwards little town that you can put a dragon's fang on someone's
Well,
door.
no, and she's
it's
like-
not enough for a conviction.
She was like, even then,
yeah.
the women's circle would
Yeah.
see to a proper trial.
And it's like, come on, Egwene. Yes, maybe technically Emmons Field would be a little bit more level-headed. At least some people
Yeah.
there would be. But there's
But, like,
definitely
let's
little
say we're-
backward towns that do that.
Well, and I mean, like, we met Senbui and we met those, like,
We know Terran Fairy
yeah.
people
Well, I was
hate
thinking
them.
more like in Tyr and
Oh, yeah, that
places
too.
where they absolutely hate
Yeah.
any channeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, here's like the extra bad news because yeah, you might not be able to prove that Egwene is Dark Friend by Tower Law, like by that standard of evidence, but
How can Elida get away with saying that outright when it's clearly a lie?
if you believe it though, Elida is crazy and she might legit think that Egwene is some sort of Dark Friend plant trying to ruin her power.
Yeah, but to say the story that Egwene's a dark friend, I expelled her and then I beat her, I guess that's the sequence of events that did happen.
Yeah, but also it's like your mentality towards it, and there's the
But
whole
that's
argument.
not like why you beat her.
But that's the thing about like your memory is that Aes Sedai are still just humans, and you can literally rewrite the history, like your memories. You can
your
rewrite
own
memories of
perception
what happened.
yeah.
So if
Well,
she
that's why
believes
they
it's strong
separate.
enough,
They try to separate witnesses after
Yeah.
incidents of like car accidents and that kind of thing.
because the
Police
stories are
separate
going to be
everybody.
different,
Yeah, so that it doesn't obscure your memories.
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of human elements of that too, but also it's the way phrasing would be important too. Like there's so many
Yeah.
factors that we don't get to see, so it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Right. But then they're thinking Elida probably won't try that because it would give Egwene the chance to speak for herself.
Yeah,
And
we don't want that.
at this point, Elida now knows how, I want to say eloquent
Sure.
Egwene is. Like, she really is good at talking.
Yeah. So we don't want to do that
Yeah.
in front of people.
But the other bad news is what Elida did also isn't bad enough to depose her.
Yeah, it's like wrist slap
At
and maybe a
worship-
month of penance.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, though, the Hull can just do anything.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that's sort of what Egwene is trying to say. She's like, it's not just this one incident.
yeah,
Like, if Elida is a phenomenal Amyrlin and got really pissed off at the person who's pretending to be an Amyrlin,
right.
and then beat her or whatever, and then everyone was like, ooh, shouldn't have done that.
Well, even Egwene thinking, Elida's going to lose credibility. It's like she's already lost all credibility.
Yeah.
None of the people here are
I
that
just
shocked.
don't know why
Yeah.
we're like, oh, shoot, this one thing isn't good enough to get rid of her. And it's like, there's so many
What
others.
about all the other things?
This isn't the only thing that anyone's upset she did.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, everyone
Yeah.
sucks. So Egwene asks if they're still seeing the effects of the Dark One, and it's like, yeah, everything is getting worse. Servants are just randomly dying
Yeah.
and busted into beetles.
And the worst part is the tower is also shifting, so now it's like the Aes Sedai and this Aja have to go over here, and it happened
It's like
again.
the kitchens and something else are swapped, and
Yeah.
everybody's
I
confused.
think the white Aja this time,
Oh, who
or the
knows?
yellow Aja got switched to the basement now. It's like, oh, terrible.
no, what about all their plants?
Right, I know,
Aw.
right? Oh, no sunlight and such. But it's so skimmed over too. It's like, servants are dying and stuff, but also
Ugh, my room.
my bedroom got moved. I hate it. It's the worst.
I know. And Egwene's like, well, keep bringing that up and
Yeah,
force them to ask Elida how she's handling this.
and badly,
'Cause
and
it's
also
bad.
not.
Because the last battle's coming. And,
Right.
And we got work to do.
Egwene's like, you gotta do the things that I can't do because I'm stuck down here. And
Yeah.
Sane's like, I'm gonna try, I guess.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like things are going well.
Yeah. It's not great.
Not great.
Yeah.
Because if anything, if Elida did try to pull this Dark Friend stuff,
Sure.
then they could pull Egwene up and give her the oath rod
Right.
and have her swear the oaths.
Yeah.
And then,
Be like, are you a dark friend?
yeah,
You'd be like, nah.
no, exactly.
You
Yeah.
should do that. Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah.
It'd be a great idea.
Mhm.
Anyways, where do we go from here?
Oh, wait, that's what the Black Aja Hunters are doing.
Yeah.
That's literally what they're doing.
Yeah, but like in
Yeah.
a very secret
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like, and
yeah.
then also being like, also obey me forever.
Right.
They're adding that on, but like you could just do the one and not
Yeah.
the other. But where do we go from here? So like, do we have to wait for this trial to go down? Is that the next step in this evolution? Because she's kind of in the cell.
I guess so. It's just so annoying to me that everybody is following every single freaking little rule.
Yeah.
Where when Elida walked in and busted in and tore Swan down,
Yeah.
no rules were actually followed.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
It just seemed nuts. And now we literally have this crazy ass Amyrlin
Mm-hmm.
who nobody likes and nobody wants.
Yeah.
And we're towing the line of
Yep. Oh, we're stuck with her. That's the.
Yeah, like what?
What's the catalyst to like set this off then?
Ugh,
What
I
do
don't
we
even
do?
know. I'm just annoyed.
You know what?
I
Good.
thought this would have been it. You know?
You know who needs to come in and save the day?
Egwene?
Gawain.
Oh god.
We're gonna get more of that in the next chapter too. I'm so excited about it.
No.
Oh my goodness, it's so fun.
No.
Gawain's ramping up to be the hero.
Oh,
Egwene's gonna love
gosh.
it.
Oh,
Gotta get that
no.
guy to do something stupid.
Oh no. Okay. Well, that's annoying.
Okay.
Now, visiting time is over, so Siain leaves, and Egwene is alone in the dark again in her cell, and she thinks about how this is terrible. This is terrible. She can't do anything from here.
Yeah. And even if the Dark Friend thing doesn't work, she might get the whole, we're going to execute you anyways because you were impersonating the Amyrlin.
Yeah.
That might actually happen still.
So she's in a bad situation.
Yeah.
This is a pickle.
But she's going to resist.
She's going to keep resisting.
Good job, Egwene. Okay.
Okay, and that is the end of this chapter.
That's it. Okay.
Okay, so let's take a really quick break, and then we'll come back.
All right.
Okay, so we are back with chapter 26, A Crack in the Stone.
Yeah, all right.
And our chapter symbol is the weird spider-webby,
Ageless unraveling.
cracked glass.
Yeah.
Kind of look like when a rock hits my windshield.
Right.
A bunch of rocks come flying at my windshield.
Yeah, as they do.
That's what this looks like.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Age lace unraveling. Pff.
Yeah. That's a fa.
It was a fa.
Yeah,
I'm practicing. Maybe I should be cat's-waying it.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay, now sniff.
At Jordan Con, I was going to say.
Sniff.
No, I think it's like
A sniff would be in, though. It's like a nose up.
like a...
Yeah.
And then like a scoff is like a...
Yeah. And then a fa is
yeah, I
just saying,
did a real fa there, hey?
It's good.
Okay. Yeah, because it's more of a sound than a word.
Yeah.
Right? I'll work on it. I'll see. I'll see if I can get dangly booblies
Yeah.
in a month
It's good.
time.
Do that.
I have another whole costume planned that I haven't bought anything for, so...
Right.
Shoot. Okay.
Me too.
You don't have one.
Yeah. You know what it is.
Oh, no,
you
I
don't
hate
like
that.
it, though.
No, I hate it. It's so dumb. Okay, but that's okay. Whatever you're happy with. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay.
All right. Avienda.
Yeah, we're here.
Here
We're doing
we
this.
are.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to have to give me a gold star.
Oh, you for sure get one. Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Avienda is watching as the camp of people is bustling around, getting ready to leave, because in case you forgot, Rand was attacked by Semirog,
Yeah.
was made to almost murder Min.
Very close. It was very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accessed the true power.
Yep. You got it
Somehow.
right. You did it.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Balefired the shit out of Semirog and Elza.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately ordered Cadsuane exiled from his sight.
Yeah.
That's a hard word, apparently.
It's the wine. I got you.
Mm-hmm. And then said, we're leaving immediately.
Yeah, we're going to Bandar Eben.
We're going.
Yes, that's
Okay.
the plan.
And so that's why we're all bustling around.
Yeah.
That's the series of events in
That's
case
good.
you missed it.
That was a good recap.
Thanks.
Okay. There's soldiers packing up tents, and there's the camp women who are skittering around, and there's messenger boys who are trying to look like they're busy so they don't have to do any work.
Right.
And then...
But that is not the Aiel way.
Oh, yeah.
And Avienda's like, these people suck.
The Aiel are so good at everything because we do things better.
And we
And-
only bring what we can carry.
And then even the people who like aren't the warriors know how to pack up their own shit and like get going.
Yeah.
The only people who are the worst,
Are the ones who lack honor.
the ones who don't have honor because they're not doing anything,
Ah.
like her.
Oh,
She's the one who isn't doing anything useful.
Yeah, she's
being the least
currently
useful.
dipping her finger into a bucket of water and
Yeah.
then letting it drip into another bucket to fill that one up.
You know what?
That's her only task.
I love it. I love the punishments. Like reading some of these useless punishments are so funny. And also her thought process. She's like, the wetlanders are so lazy. They'd probably look at this and like this as a punishment and probably wouldn't even see it as a punishment because they're so lazy.
Yeah.
Because even that one with the useless work of moving the rocks.
Yeah.
It's like she was thinking, hey, that's
At least
physical.
it's-
That's exercise.
It's exercise.
At least it gets my like body and mind better.
Yeah.
But the wetlanders wouldn't like that because they're lazy. But this one they would like because they're the worst.
They get to sit on their butts.
Sit on their butts, just
and
dip in
not
water.
work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's and man, she is spiraling a little bit here.
Oh my goodness. We need to get our words together.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, we waited too long. It's like you always say, I'm going to take a short break. It's never short. It's never short.
All right. Well, I like this part.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Min comes over, and I always like their random interactions.
It's good. Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So Min comes over and says, "Y'all right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe you'd be doing something else
Yeah.
here.
Like don't you have
you
have
have
something
something to
like
be
are
do?
you is this
Do you have something to do?
is this what you're doing?
But
And she's like,
Avienda's like, "Yep, everything's fine."
everything I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now. It's fine. We're fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. But then Min is like, "Okay, I thought I could talk to you. I don't know who else I can approach. I don't trust the Aes Sedai, and neither does he. But I'm sure he doesn't trust anyone now, not even me."
Yeah, things have gotten bad. So we get a bit of an update. This is actually very interesting too, because this is one of those questions like, how did things really go down on the other side? We only saw it from the perspective there with Rand. So thinking like, hey, Aviendha has this bond with Rand. Like, what went down in that side of things? And I like that we get an answer to it. So she did feel Rand's pain through the bond when the Semirog attack went down, but then she thought that it was like a nightmare or something. She's like, oh, I don't know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So she delayed. She didn't realize something was actually wrong.
And she didn't sound the alarm until too late, and then she feels badly for that.
And then it's like, what would too late really be? Like, even if you waited 30 seconds, like, I don't actually know how long she waited before she realized something was wrong. It could have literally been 30 seconds. Like, who knows?
Yeah. But then Aviendha just tells Min that Rand will deal with his problems.
Yep.
He has to face his own trials.
Just like I have to face my own.
Oh, yeah.
Dipping my finger in water. I like how Min just like doesn't understand Aiel, so she just tries to glaze out. Like, this is your trial? This is the trials that you have to go through? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't understand Aiel.
Yeah, and then Min tells her that Aviendha is really not what she expected.
Yeah.
And explains that she wasn't sure what to think after their whole bonding ceremony because she feels close to Aviendha, but at the same time, super distant.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know each other. And she thought that Aviendha would come to find her when she got to the camp because they have lots of things to discuss.
Yeah, like Rand and like the whole sharing of Rand.
Yeah.
I mean, which is a fair conversation to have because it's like, hey, here's your spouse's other partner that you don't know, but is like close friends with your other close friend who's the partner of him also.
Yeah, it's a
like
mess.
Maybe we should talk about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like nobody wants to talk about it.
No.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I don't really have anything to talk to you about.
Yeah,
at this
she's
point.
like, it's cool. Like, we're cool. There's no like you got no totem towards me. Like, we're fine.
Yep. And then Min's like, okay, well, I'm still worried there might be a problem.
Aviendha's too straightforward with Min.
Yes.
There's no dancing around. So like when someone is as straightforward or blunt or cold as Aviendha's being, I understand that Min would be like, okay,
it's kind of confusing.
You're coming off as like you got a problem with me,
right?
But Aviendha's like, I don't have a problem with you because she legit doesn't have a problem.
She legitimately doesn't.
Yeah, but like Min maybe doesn't understand that or doesn't pick up because it's just the cultural differences. But Aviendha's so in her head about this other big problem that is coming across in this conversation too.
Right. Now, Min is worried that there's going to be a confrontation.
Yeah, like
because of the whole Aiel fight each other over honor and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, baby, are you going to fight me? Are we going to fight over Rand? Like, are we doing that?
And Aviendha's like, fight over a man? How ridiculous.
Fa.
Yeah, fa.
Who the fa would do that?
Yeah. Good one.
That's good.
Yeah, that was nice, actually.
Yeah.
Now, Plus, you're not a maiden. And I'm not anymore either.
I guess we're going to fight with knives, but...
But, like, that wouldn't be a fair fight. And Min's like...
Min's so insulted.
Oh, yeah? She's so offended.
She spins her knives, and then Aviendha's like, what's with all that flourish? That's a Tom Maryland thing. What's up with that?
Yeah, she's like, I could have got you with, like, 5 knives in the time it took you to flourish your knives at me.
Okay, who wins in a knife fight? Go.
I actually think that Min is better. I think the flourishing is... what Min thinks is like, look, I have knife handling skills.
Yeah, because that's what Tom does, and that's a Tom thing.
I know, but when it's time to actually throw the knife, she's not dancing them on her knuckles.
No, and she's whipped out a few knives.
Yes, she's
hit Semirog.
I think they're
twice now.
Actually pretty evenly matched.
Okay.
But in this interaction, the flourish that Min does is like, look how skilled I am with a knife.
Right, yeah.
And Aviendha's like, that's dumb.
Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your time doing that. But Min isn't attacking right now.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I get that. Okay, so in a fight, who wins?
I think it's pretty even.
Okay. I would say I'm going to give the edge if they're close together, close quarters, edge to Aviendha.
Okay.
If there's a gap between them, and Aviendha's not allowed to channel, then I'm going to give it to Min.
Well, yeah, but even Min's
a knife thrower. She throws knives. That's
throwing
what she does.
knives at Semirog.
People's faces.
Who can channel.
Yeah, almost got her.
Well, grazed her cheek, did get her. She was bleeding.
Well, it's not a kill.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But got her.
Yeah, okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Now we get into the whole Aviendha tells Min that since Elaine considers her a friend, she does too.
Yeah.
And they also agree that they don't really like the idea of sharing Rand, but they don't have any other options.
And they don't.
Well,
do they?
Yeah.
Besides breaking up with him.
Yes. He's not a prize to be around.
Yes, he is.
No.
He's the Dragon Reborn.
He's literally insane.
Hey.
No.
You put up with him for just a little while, and I'm pretty sure you get, like, lifetime payments for being spouse of the Dragon Reborn after he's gone. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like
We've had this
No.
conversation whenever
I
you're like,
feel like
oh, who would you marry? I'm always choosing the person who's going to provide you financial support.
I know you do
It's
say
Elaine. It's Elaine. It's Perrin. Like
Yeah.
I'm picking the
stable ones.
the stable.
I understand that. I don't know. Out of everybody here, Avienda should walk away.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, only because she has Elaine.
She does have Elaine.
Yeah. Like that's the.
She
that's
has another relationship to go to fall back on.
Exactly.
Elaine is only sticking around if we don't want,
Well, it's a political marriage.
It's political.
Yeah.
Now there's a child who he doesn't even know about. So
Children.
I keep
Dani,
doing that.
children.
I know, I forget.
There's 2 of them.
And Min is the one who's actually physically closest. We've been over this before.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, there's no options.
Like, why does Avienda even love him? Like, I don't even understand.
Super hot.
Yeah, and I mean, they did get to know each other pretty well
Yeah.
when they were traveling together before he was, like, too
He's
crazy.
got a great personality.
But at this
Fight's
point,
really good.
just because things were good in the past, does that mean we should stay with him now?
Super strong channeler.
Yeah, those are cool things, but
Those
like,
are all cool things.
not on my list of, like,
Yeah.
what I need in my spouse. You know?
Dating him is like dating a bunch of other people also. Because he's got so many voices in his head.
So many people in his head.
Yeah, right? And
That's
if you're
fun.
into that, that's...
So fun.
Oh, you never know what to expect.
There's no other
Okay.
options. So
Right.
they have to just continue on being miserable at this point.
Yeah. And then Avienda's like, okay, so I got to get back at it. I'm pretty busy here. So, like, are we done here? And Min's like, you're
busy?
You're busy with the...
With the dipping
dipping
and the
the
water.
fingers.
And Avienda's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's so angry. She's like, why would she shame me so?
I know.
Why would she do that? That shames me, bringing up my punishment. It's humiliating talking
And
about
Min
it.
just has, like, no clue what is happening here. She doesn't understand
No,
it.
and it just sets Avienda off. She's so angry
Yeah.
that she just starts walking off. She's so frustrated.
Like,
she gets up and leaves.
I try to put myself in Min's perspective of seeing someone who,
I
like,
know.
doing this.
I know.
And they're so aggressive towards it. And you're like, what?
What?
If this makes you so angry, dipping your fingers
Yeah,
in the water,
no,
why are
clearly
you doing
something
it?
else is bothering you today. That's what I would think, right?
I know. It's like,
Yeah, so Avienda can't stand this anymore, so she starts just stalking across the yard.
oh, yeah.
She's so angry.
Yeah, she sees
And she
Rand.
makes sure to keep away from Rand because...
But then she sees Rand, and Rand sees her and, like, puts up his one hand.
to wave. And...
She just, like, turns corner.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, it's so funny.
It's bad.
Yeah. Anyways, she's got to find the wise ones.
Yeah, she certainly does.
We got a problem. We got to deal with it
We got
now.
a serious problem.
Yeah.
Avienda reaches Amis, Bear, and Mullane.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, are you done your punishment already? And she's like, no, I have not. And she's so angry.
Yeah.
And I like her inner monologue because she's like, what are you doing, idiot?
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Turn back. Don't do it. Don't yell at them.
Yeah. And then Bear says, well?
Like, what are you
And
doing?
Amis says, you're not learning quickly enough. And that just
There you
sets
go. That's
Avienda
the
off
one.
completely. She snaps and she's like, learning what? I've literally memorized every lesson, in fact.
Yeah.
I can channel better than any Aiel woman alive, which is like, really? Can she? Do we think?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a fair
okay.
statement.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because she's like Supergirl level,
Mm.
right? And there's the wise ones are...
You're talking about the Wonder Girl? Like,
Yeah, like
okay.
the Egwene, Elaine, Avienda,
right.
Nynaeve sometimes is included in that.
Mm-hmm.
She's not always included in Wonder Girls, but...
Yeah.
Anyways, the whole point is like, yeah, that's probably a legit, like, she's stronger.
Okay, anyway, so that's part of it.
Yeah.
She's done her duty. She found honor.
Yeah.
And she's still being punished, and she doesn't get why.
Yeah. Tell me what I did or send me away. Like, those are the options now. Come on.
Yeah. And then the wise ones say, hey, it's not us who punish you. It's your own fault.
Yeah, it's you who punish you. So, like, yeah.
And Avienda's like, I didn't do anything to deserve these punishments.
Yeah, and flips it on them. She's
And
like,
you're shaming yourself by treating me this way. And Amis is like, are you rejecting these punishments? And Avienda says, yes, I am.
yeah, but like you said, her thought process is like, oh no, don't stand up to the wise ones. Don't do it, Avienda. No, just like back away. We can get out of this. So there won't be a little bit of punishment.
Yeah.
But she does. She says, I'm rejecting it. Yes.
And Bear
excellent.
says, are you presuming to be our equal? And then her brain is like, alert.
Back up now. No.
But then she says, yeah, I'm ready to join you.
Yeah, if this is all you got to teach me, then I am ready to become
A
part of the
one.
wise ones.
Yeah, and this is what I said at several different points for sure.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You should have
you
just
call
said
it. Yeah.
no.
You hit the nail on the head, and you just got to say, no, we're done. I'm one of you, and then that's how it works.
And then suddenly, Bear starts to laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Melaine is laughing and says, she took even longer than you, Amis. She's so stubborn.
Oh,
Hilarious,
so funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, I love it.
Welcome, sister. And Avienda's like, excuse me?
Like, what?
What? And Bear's
good.
like, you're one of us now.
Yeah.
And we could have never told you you were one of us.
Yeah.
You had to presume it.
You know, I actually like the mentality towards this because they kind of explain, like, hey, as a wise one, you can't let anyone step on you. And then if you come into the sisterhood of wise oneing, thinking that you're still an apprentice, then that's not good either. You have to consider yourself an equal before you get the equality, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's a good perspective that they have.
I agree.
Yeah. The way they go about it is, you know, kind of crazy and stuff like that.
A little nuts, but yeah.
But also, they do have a conversation about how their traditions are more, like, they're important to keep because the Aes Sedai suck. And getting to learn everything about the Aes Sedai makes them suck even worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important that the Aiel keep these important things of, like, so the hierarchy conversation, they do talk about this. Because Avienda's like, hey, like, wise ones do have a hierarchy. They do, kind of.
Yes.
But it's not based on strength of power. It's like strength of will and respect.
Yeah.
It's like what you earn, not what you have just because you're born that way. Like, inherently. So.
Or you're just oldest.
Or oldest, exactly.
Because that's what the kinswomen do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, hey, well, if you believe, as a wise one, if you really believe in something, you can't just get rolled over just because there's another wise one who's older or whatever.
Or
like,
more
you gotta,
powerful.
you gotta fight for what you believe in as a wise one. And I really respect that as a point of view.
No, I agree too.
So.
That's why I said from the beginning, she should just say, no, I don't want to do your stupid, meaningless punishment.
Yeah, but then we do get a conversation in a little bit, and we'll talk about it, about the stupidity of Savannah and how this plan can backfire.
It backfired because you get an arrogant asshole.
Okay, let's talk about it now.
Okay, yeah.
So this is basically how Savannah came into power, because Savannah was like, I'm a wise one, and the wise ones are like, no, and Savannah's like, yeah.
Yes, I am. I'm your equal.
You do it long enough, and then it's like, that's how you
become one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why Avian is like, well, hey, what happens if an apprentice is like in the first month? It's like, I'm a wise one. Then Amis is like, well, just beat her a little bit and then to like make her dig some holes. And usually that solves it. And we never had this problem until Savannah. It's like, okay, shoot.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah, we're just going to like skim over that one. That was a one-time thing. It's fine.
And it only caused a tiny little insignificant piece of damage that just fractured the entire culture into two.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blame Rand still. It's still his fault.
Oh yeah, he's gonna break them. That's
and Savannah blames him too, I think. But also wants to marry him. And anyways, we don't have time. That's not the topic of this. Okay.
It's interesting though.
Let's back it up. There's one more thing Avienda has to do before she's officially a wise one, because she's not technically. Yeah. She's like there, but we got one more thing.
She's got to go do Ruidan.
Got to do it.
The
Here
glass
we go.
columns that we saw Rand go through, right?
Yeah.
That's what she has to do, because she already did the 3-ring thing that shows you some future or something like that, some truths or something.
Yeah, it's a little bit, convoluted of exactly what's going to happen next. So let's just read and find out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Well, this time, she gets to wear clothes.
She
and
does.
That's really all I picked up.
It's a mark of your station. You get to wear clothes. You run to the center.
Because you're not a baby.
Right.
You're not a baby wise one.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know, there's some traditions where it's like, you have to wear no clothes because it's like you're a baby and babies don't wear clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're born, maybe?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now, you can wear clothes.
Yeah. So as a wise one, first time you go through the one because you're an apprentice, and then now as a full wise one. That's why Moraine technically, she's kind of like a, apprentice wise one.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of.
But Egwene never did.
No.
She was like a dreamer apprentice.
Yeah.
And just sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like
because she was never going to become a wise one. She wanted to learn about the dreaming.
The Moraine thing is a little bit convoluted too, because the Aiel have a lot of respect for land, and there's that whole thing. Plus, they had visions
They had
of
some
like
vision and
they had
prophecy
visions of like, if she doesn't do this, then it's going to be bad for everyone.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of connections that are for another time.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Bear and Melaine are like, hey, we're going to turn our backs on you now. We'll see you again after Ruidan. You go do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll welcome you back after. Little bit reminiscent of the Wayback Machine when we got to see the Aiel, like the whole turning your backs on people.
Sure, yeah.
That's a part of it. But then Ami says, okay, so here's the thing. Usually I'd say walk to Ruidan, but given the current situation, you can travel to Cold Rock's Hold and then run.
And then walk to run to Ruidan.
Run quickly, because like we're on a time frame here. Like, go quick, go fast.
Yep.
Go do it, and then come back quickly. Go fast.
Yeah, and I hope you can find us.
Yep.
Because who knows where we'll be.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. We have traveling, right? It shouldn't be that
hard. I know,
hard.
but like you have to know where they are.
They can dream shout.
They'll dream shout.
Dream shout.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's ways.
Yeah, because nobody's used that very effectively in this book. It's only been like a few times.
Avienda.
Yeah.
We are here.
Meet us at Starbucks.
Yeah.
No, I feel like it should be used more.
Sure.
Than it currently is.
Definitely.
And if it is being used, we're not being told that it's being used.
Yeah, it's implied.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's implied.
We're not seeing every Aes Sedai meeting in Teleran Riyadh anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, just assume it's happening.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I could dream shout at people, I would do it all the time.
Would you?
No. I like to think that I would.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
I like to think that I would.
Who would you dream shout
I have
at?
texting and I don't text it.
I know.
Yeah.
No, but dream shouting's kind of more funny.
It is funny.
Like
because they like wake up and
you
like,
would just
whoa,
like
what?
shout insults at your brother in his dreams and then like run away.
Yes.
That's what you would do.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just use it to shout things at people that I like couldn't say to them to their face, but I've been thinking about.
Don't they
all
know
day.
that it's you though?
I don't think they do. If you just shout it,
yeah,
I bet I could like change my
change
voice
your voice,
changer,
right?
Sound like a robot or
Yeah.
something. They won't know it's me because they're just dreaming, right?
Right.
And be like, "You're a stupid asshole," you know, like things.
Remember
like
that thing you said to Dani the other day? That was not cool.
That was stupid. That was dumb. You should apologize.
Yeah, this isn't Dani, by the way.
Yeah. It's Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay.
Darth Vader voice changer.
Right.
Yeah. They'll never know.
No,
Never.
they wouldn't.
Never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, Avienda's got to go do that.
Yep.
Then Avienda is like, hey, what about that whole Savannah thing? Whatever. That happens.
Whatever. What are you glazing over? Oh, what we already talked about.
We talked about it already.
Okay. Yep.
And then it's time for her to leave.
Yeah. And then that's when Amis is walking her over to the traveling grounds, and it's time for her to go.
Yeah. And the cute little ending there is Avienda like takes a moment to look over towards where Rand is, and then she sees him and she smiles. Avienda's not really a smiler, but she smiles. He's not looking at her, but she thinks like, "Oh, I'll be back for you."
Yeah, sure.
And then she thinks that her honor has returned.
Good.
It's good. Like that was the whole big issue.
Yeah, because it never went anywhere.
It didn't.
Turns out.
Yeah. Well, if it goes, if you think it goes, it's one of those situations, right?
One of those.
But it looks like we got Wise One Avienda stepping up. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Assuming she doesn't die in Ruidan, because there's the implication like, hey, not everybody returns.
That's true, because
right?
we did see that one time.
Yeah.
When Rand was in there was a guy trapped in there.
Yeah.
And now, is it implied that you see your own family lineage?
Well, you're also assuming that it's the same situation. We don't know that it's
the glass
same.
columns might look a little different for everybody.
These are the glass
going through.
pillars, yeah.
Wasn't that...
Yeah, but also like we
assuming
don't
it's
know
the same.
we don't know that it's the same.
Yeah,
this
we
is
do.
also the second time, and
I
with
think
men
that
they only
we
go
know.
through. What, you think that she's gonna get dragons on her arms?
No, I don't.
Okay, well then there's got
Because-
to be something different here.
No.
Why?
That's the same. That part's the same. I think that... Okay.
What part's the same? Now I'm confused.
The glass... Going through the glass columns, because that's something that women do, and clan chiefs. Like, the clan chiefs and the wise ones both go through the glass columns.
Okay.
And they find out the history of the Aiel.
Yeah.
So that they can remember where they came from.
Okay.
And be strong enough to still be a part of the Aiel, even though they know where they came from, or something. Culture.
Okay. We're just... Yeah.
That's my understanding of this.
We're gonna come back to it.
Okay, well, that's my understanding of this.
And that's fine. We're gonna come back to it.
Is that it's the same thing Rand did.
So what is Avienda doing now?
She's going to Cold Rock's Hold.
Yeah.
She's going to run to Ruidan, and she's going to go through the glass columns.
Okay.
Like Rand did.
Okay.
And see her own family line.
Okay.
That's what I thought this was. I thought that was obvious.
I appreciate that that's what you think. That's
oh
good.
My God, what are you talking
No,
about?
nothing. It's fine.
It's different than that.
I don't know.
I feel like now I'm it's different than that.
Ah,
and
no.
you don't.
I'm gonna. Okay. Anyways, perspective change.
Fine. Yes.
Okay. Let's do
well,
this
now
one.
I have some thinking to do.
Oh no.
I hate when you make me think.
Right. It's the worst.
Okay. Quick perspective.
Yep. It is pretty quick.
And it is to Romonda.
Yeah.
So Romonda is here listening to Shamarin,
Right.
who is different than Sheriam.
Shamarin
is telling her story about sneaking out of the White Tower after Elida demoted her Aes Sedai status, and she was all shamed and embarrassed, so she took off. She's a runaway. So we learn that there are 6 sisters.
Yeah, this is the problem I have because
here listening to Shamarin's story.
Okay, does your book also say 6 sisters? I was going to ask this because I, for the life of me, and I don't know if I'm just like missing something, I cannot count the 6th sister listening to this story because there's Romanda, there's Lelaine, that makes sense. Swan is here, Sheriam's here, and then the last one's Megla. That's 5 people. And I can't find a 6th name.
Is it Shamarin?
But it's like, no, but there's 6, it says there's 6 sisters listening.
Okay, let me get my book.
Shamarin's
I'm not sure.
story.
Let me look.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what I was expecting to find because I have the old, almost first edition copy.
Yeah.
And you have the new one. So if anything, yours would be fixed.
I don't know.
And mine says 6 women listen to the runaway story.
Yeah.
And then 5 women are listed.
Yeah.
So.
Can't. You know what? Ghost.
Okay.
Ghost Aes Sedai.
Perhaps.
Maybe Ramondo sees ghosts.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there is someone else in this tent, she doesn't talk, and she's not referred to.
Yeah.
And maybe
she's
she
not
goes
mentioned.
up in flames.
Maybe.
Yikes.
Like I don't think
Oh,
she
no.
gets out. I don't think she gets out of there. Yeah.
Maybe she
Shoot.
does.
Maybe.
And we just don't hear about it.
We would never know.
I don't know. Anyway, here we are.
Yeah.
Listening to Shamarin.
It's an interrogation, sort of, but not really.
But not really.
She's just answering everything.
Yeah. She's not putting up any resistance at all.
No,
actually.
she's pretty much given up on life.
Yeah, and then she's apologizing for being a runaway accepted, and she will accept any penance they might set, but she really just wants to go work in the camp and
Yeah, like, don't
live a
send me
normal
back
life.
to the
I
tower.
won't even use the power.
Yeah, let's just
and-
be like a regular person.
Yeah, and Ramonda is just getting frustrated.
She's trying to keep it out of her voice,
She's trying to keep calm.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're an Aes Sedai. No matter what Elida says, you cannot be pulled down from being an Aes Sedai.
Like, we gotta fix
No
this.
Amyrlin has that power.
Yeah, well, apparently if you let him.
Exactly.
Like, there you
That's
go.
the point, right?
Yeah.
So Swan tells Sheriam that she wants
Nope.
a map.
Nope, not Sheriam.
Frick,
Shamarin.
Shamarin. Ugh, you know who I mean, right? Like,
I know, but you still gotta get it
okay,
right.
Swan tells Shamarin she wants a map of the little water gate.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So Shamarin was like, hey, I snuck out of the city through this little water gate because she feeds poor people or something around there.
Yeah.
So she knew about it. And then Swan is saying, hey, we need to get a map of this little water gate that you can't sneak an army through.
Yeah.
But like a small group of people might be able to go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Swan already is like, we got to have this in our back pocket.
Back pocket. I need a map. Let's do that.
Okay. So Megla wants to know more of Shamarin's situation because she doesn't understand how Elida could think that demoting an Aes Sedai is a good idea.
It's like, Elida doesn't think anything, ever. That's
no,
the problem. She
that
doesn't
is-
think at all.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
Now, Shamarin doesn't have any thoughts on this at all.
Right.
And at this point, Ramonda notices something small creeping under the canvas of the floor of the tent.
I love it. And she's like,
moving.
is that a mouse? No, it
Nah,
can't be a
too
mouse.
small.
It's too small
Maybe
for a
bug?
mouse. Yeah.
Not
Like,
sure.
that's weird.
And then they go on with their whole conversation, and it keeps moving.
Yeah.
And now, can I tell you what I thought it was?
What?
So I thought it was one of the ring Terangriel that Sheriam was somehow like moving
What?
with the power, trying to get it out.
I
unnoticed.
never thought you would say something crazy like that.
I thought
That's
what
the
it was.
craziest thing you've ever said, I
Is
think.
it?
That's the craziest thing.
I legitimately was like, I know what that is.
That's
I
like
was
a that's like a Mr. Bean sketch.
I know. I think.
Like
I think
his skit
yeah,
of where
because
they
I
like
think
trying to
that-
like pull it under the rug.
No,
I can't
okay,
believe
hear
you
me
said
out,
that.
Hear me out.
That's so wild.
Hear me out. Are
yeah.
you hearing me out?
Okay, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I missed the Semirog thing last time.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to miss something this time, so I was hyper fixated on the fact that Sheriam is here.
Sheriam's got the ring.
After we know,
the ring attached to a little string, and she's pulling the little string, and it's like being pulled.
I thought she was like using the power to like maybe Ramonda has one.
Sure.
Right?
But it's like going under the canvas of the tent.
Exactly, yeah. She like... I don't know. I thought that was like, she would think that nobody notices.
That's so funny.
Because they're having a really serious thing. So like maybe she's like, this is my way to do it.
That's fantastic.
She's not just going to sneak into Ramonda's tent. She's going to get caught and it's going to be
crazy. For sure. I wish it was that.
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
I even came up with a theory that Sheriam had like woven a ward of eavesdropping.
Okay.
Because we enter in this meeting after it's been gathered and has been started.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, because I know people would say, oh, but how could she be channeling without them knowing?
Right.
And it's like, no, she's already channeling, because what if she's the one holding the eavesdropping ward?
Wow, yeah, okay.
And then, but can she split her weaves all like that?
Who knows what she could do?
But I was like, that's so sneaky, Sheriam.
That's funny.
Sneak the little ring just out the side of the tent so she can go pick it up.
It's like push it.
Yeah.
Push it.
Exactly.
You're just gonna keep pushing it. Push it a little further.
Turns out it's not that. It's not. It's actually not that at all.
Yeah, okay. It's not that. Anyways, but we're going to ignore that for just a half a second longer.
Okay.
Because now Shamarin's trying to explain what happened to cause the demotion in the first place.
Yeah.
And she's like, I showed a lack of poise befitting an Aes. And if you remember, it was when Elida was having that conversation. She's like, the Dragon Reborn. And Shamarin was like,
Dragon is scary.
Don't say that word.
Yeah.
Anyways.
She's like, you're not an Aes Sedai anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened. But
and
also,
like, that's it? Like, you weren't plotting against her? Or...
Yeah. And they kind of confirm.
They're like,
no, she was loyal. She's loyal to Elida.
She actually hates it here.
Yeah.
She does not want to be part of the stupid rebel
She is
group.
a loyal tower loyalist.
There you go. That's what she is.
That's what it is.
And then this is where Swan notices something moving under the floor.
What's that? What is that?
Just like,
is that a ring? Is that a ring?
Mouse?
It's not a ring. It's not a mouse either.
Is that a mouse? No, too big to be a mouse, or too small to be a mouse.
Yeah.
And
too
then
big
she's
to
like,
be a mouse.
Too big
small.
to be a mouse? Too small to be a mouse.
Cockroach is smaller than a mouse.
And then they're like, is it? And then they look back and it's bigger.
Yeah. Oh, no. Is that boom? It's cockroach.
And the canvas floor splits open and a big cockroach.
The cockroach.
Scrambles through.
Oh, man.
It's quite a night.
It's good.
Now, Swan pulls off her shoe and is going to swat at it.
Love it. Love it.
But then more bubbles in the tent start ripping. And I was like, here we go.
Bubbly evil.
No, I hate all this bug stuff. It's so gross.
It's gross.
Yeah. So it's exactly what you might think.
Yeah.
The entire place fills with tons and tons and tons of cockroaches.
I do love it because there's like a little bit of slapstick humor here because like you got Swan smacking him with a shoe and the warders come in with their swords and you're like, "Wah!" But it's like, what are you gonna do with a sword?
It's just bugs.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, you know what you should do? Light the place on fire. And it's like, yes.
Yeah.
Because there is a moment where they start squishing them with the power, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Swan does it, and then Ramonda's like, that's a good idea. Let's squish them. But then there's too many, so they got to like scramble out of the tent. And then Lelane's like, hey,
Ramonda, is there anything you need to keep in here?
She's like, nope.
And Ramonda looks around and is like,
not now. Not
maybe
after all the bugs.
Journal, but like,
not after the bugs are all over them.
Even
no
that,
thanks.
No.
Yep. So fire.
So they all scramble out. They burn the tent to the ground.
Burn it to the ground.
Nice.
Yes.
With the power.
Yep.
And then Megla, who is there.
Yeah, and she's a genius.
She's like, I don't think that was natural.
It's like, thanks, Megla, for your input of this. This wasn't a natural swarming of cockroaches through the tent.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And then Swan pulls, what's her name? Shamarin off to go
get the
do
map.
A map of the little water gate to the city.
Yep.
And Ramonda's like, the last battle is coming.
Oh, man, Egwene was right.
Egwene told us. Oh.
And then also, we do get informed that they know about the meeting with Elida the other night, and she's still refusing to be rescued.
Even though now she's definite captive.
Yeah. So that's important that we all know everyone's on the same page here.
Yeah. And Ramonda wonders if she'd be willing to bow to Elida to make the tower whole again.
Yeah.
Even if that meant the possibility of being demoted back down to unaccepted.
But also, like, Ramonda, hypothetical here, if you guys all turn yourselves in or whatever, or like bow down to Elida, she also might just execute you for being like a
huge traitor,
and like a higher ranking one.
And like
you might not get demoted.
No, and you went and formed your own hall against all this law, and
like they're gonna figure out that you and Lelaine were like the ringleaders here for a long time.
Yes.
Like they're gonna figure that out here.
Yes.
Anyways, these cockroaches, interestingly, are from Shara, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, hey, those look like the ones that people see in Shara. They got 4 spines or something.
Ew.
I don't know enough about cockroaches.
Nope.
But hey,
they're old.
Or they could be.
Well, no, just the species.
Oh yeah, probably.
As a species, cockroaches are old.
Oh, you know what? That should have been the fun fact.
It should have been.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Cockroaches.
Yep.
Okay.
Like dinosaur times or something.
Right. Probably.
Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Yeah. I just make shit up. And it's probably true or
it
not.
It sounds pretty true.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that you like heard or read one time and you're like, I think that's right.
I'm going to put that in the bucket of things that I'm going to pretend that I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And say with such confidence. Or you say, oh, I read recently, you know? And if
that's
you just
a good
say
one.
that, then anything you say after that has to be taken seriously.
Right.
Because people are like, oh, you read?
Yeah. Wow.
Right? Wow.
Wow.
Well, then it must be true.
It must be.
Yeah.
Nothing in books ever lie. That's what I know.
Like articles.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I read like a study.
Oh, like an internet article.
No. Like a real scientific.
Oh, a science study.
A science journal.
That's the best
kind. Of course, I'm reading science journals. Yeah. I'm not reading anything else stupid. Of course.
Okay. All right. We did it.
We did do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, we got time now for a Gawain rescue plan.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to come in next.
Well, that's what I was talking about, is because we know that the order of events is the Shamaran meeting and then the Gawain meeting.
Should be right
Gawain's
away.
like, we got to save her immediately. And then you've got Swan being like, hey, where's the little sneaky Watergate thing?
Maybe we're going in stealth mission style.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
Also, like, maybe let's put a
no, they're not good enough at that kind of thing. But like, maybe.
I get it.
I'm interested in whatever. You know, at this point,
whatever. It's good.
Yeah, let's just further the story, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all I'm into at this point. So here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Next 2 episodes are 1 chapter each.
Okay, 1 chapter.
Yep.
We can do it.
Yes, we can. And you know what's very exciting is we are now officially moving into the second half of this book.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we just crossed over. This chapter was the halfway point.
Yes. Yep.
Ooh, I feel like we're zooming.
Yeah. Well,
I made you do 2 chapters.
This is the half of the book where we ramp up too. So like we're getting there.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling it.
I'm
not disappointed. I'm feeling good.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
It's good. It's good so far. Let's see how that goes. Now, before you tell your bosses to shove it and get promoted, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, and Gabby Young. With music by Audionautics. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 45 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show, like information on how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, you can visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And if you write us a really nice review and put your Instagram or Twitter handle in the review on Apple Podcasts, we will be picking people at random to be giving out some merchandise like stickers and bookmarks, and we'll send them out to those people as a huge thank you. Now be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.